Okay, I'm not kidding. I'm literally in the middle of a ritual and I received this download that somebody's behavior is going to be dramatically changing towards you. The way that somebody moves towards you, the way that somebody speaks to you, the way that they see you and perceive you, the way that they feel for you. I don't know if this has to do with the timeline jump that the world just moved through, but this person is seeing you in a completely new light. And truthfully, there might be things that you are doing in your life that have kind of like altered the course of events. There is somebody who is either in your life or entering your life who is like, one, they see you as drop dead gorgeous. Like they think that you are one of the most beautiful people they've ever seen. And it's not just your physical features, it's the way that you carry yourself, it's the way that you present yourself, it's the way that you move through this world, it's the way that you love, it's the way that you give, the way that you care. This person sees your inner light. They see you so far beyond just the physical, but they are also extremely attracted to the physical. I feel like this person has been kind of spending a lot of time in contemplation, like kind of going back and forth on if this is the right move for them to make, or just kind of like analyzing the situation. It's not even necessarily like a bad thing or that like anything bad happened or anything wrong was done. It's just kind of like there needed to be time taken. There needed to be a step taken back in order to be able to process certain information and move forward more confidently, more secure in their feelings for you, in how they see you, and in what they desire to experience with you. I feel like this person is like thinking of the whole world when it comes to you. Like they are imagining an entire world with you at the center of it, like with you in it, but also at the center of it, like by their side, like standing proudly next to you. And so there's definitely this energy of being chosen, of being, I don't know why I'm hearing like picked from the crowd. So maybe you're somebody who feels as if like you're surrounded by a lot of good options, or maybe you're somebody who, you know, has that thought pop in from time to time of like, why me? Like, why are you so drawn to me? But I'm also being told that you are beginning to realize little by little that you're beginning to recognize your own worth. Like they are drawn to you because you are magnetic, because you are powerful, because you are beautiful, because you are one of a kind, because there is nobody else in this world that is like you. Like they are not going to find you in another human being. They are never going to cross paths with someone like you. You are so unique. You are probably somebody who is very mystical or into mysticism, and not just like spiritual, but like the real stuff, the kind where you believe in fairies and you believe in small moments of magic, but you're also grounded in this reality. And I think that's what attracts this person to you, is the fact that you have a beautiful balance of both. Like you are not 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You are just walking the line in between worlds. And you know what? That can be very lonely at times. I feel like you are somebody who probably feels isolated a lot of the times, who probably feels as if it's very rare for you to connect to an individual. And there's always something for you to learn, discover, and explore. And when it comes to this specific person, it's endless. There's no time limit. There's no end to what you can learn and discover and experience together. And I feel like I'm hearing a game changer. Like you are a game changer for this person, because you make them see life differently. You make them see themselves differently. You make them realize that like there has been magic missing, or like from their life. It's as if like you've given them the green light to believe fully in what they've always internally known, but have never had validated from somebody else outside of themselves. I feel like you give this person space to breathe. You give them space to expand and feel at ease within their body, within their mind. You make this person feel so safe and This has probably happened in such a short amount of time that it has both of you. And that's honestly probably explains the step back, because it's like, whoa, okay, yeah, you do need to catch your breath, because there's going to be a lot more to come, and you're going to want to have your energy. You've probably been motivated to get your body right, to get your mind right, to get your money right. When this person enters your life, or if they already have, they are going to shine a light on who you are, not to cast judgment or to manipulate or to use, but simply to be that strong presence for you, to be that strong presence in your life that allows you the time and the space to take a look at the habits that create who you are, at the habits that are creating your future, and decide, is this truly who I am? And is this truly who I desire to be? Because this person's presence gives you such stability and grounding and protection. It's the type of provider energy that cannot be bought. It cannot be sold. It cannot be created. It's as if like they are born with it. It's as if they were born to bring it into this world, to one day cross paths with you and change the trajectory of both of your lives. That's what this feels like. Like, it feels incredibly serious, yet at the same time, it feels light and playful and like something that you're meant to learn and discover in your own timing, that the two of you decide together, because there are going to be a lot of decisions made together. There's going to be a lot of communication, clear communication, strong communication, and a desire to communicate about some of the more uncomfortable topics that might come up for the both of you, because it's not even that you're on a healing journey. I feel like you're somebody who probably even has like found yourself not wanting to put yourself in that kind of box, and instead recognize that you are simply on the journey of life, of learning, of growing and expanding and discovering. And every conversation with this person is a chance to know yourself better, is a chance to choose better for yourself, for them, for the two of you. It just feels like everything about this connection is so harmonious, and it's not that there isn't fear there, because both of you have experienced certain things in this lifetime that would definitely come to the surface, to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be released. So it's not that there's not fear, but there's more bravery, there's more trust, and there's the love that I feel like pouring through my heart. It actually makes me emotional, because it is so powerful, and it is so raw, and it is so real. And I truthfully don't believe that you've experienced something like this love in this world. And so it is going to make you emotional, because it's also going to make you realize that you've never really been loved the way that you deserve, not even by yourself. And that's going to be one of the most powerful discoveries in this connection, is how do you love yourself? Because loving you is loving them. And them loving them is also loving you. It's just a big love festival, okay? There's so many. All of the love that you give to yourself is given to them. All of the love that is given to them is given to you. All of the love that they give to you is given to themselves. All of the love that they give to themselves is given to you. Do you see the picture? There's so many paths crossing with the way that your souls intertwine. This is such a powerful message. I am going to go into a part 2, because I don't even want to stop it here. If you are a subscriber member, you already have access to this in-depth reading, as well as every reading that goes in-depth after this. If you would like access to this reading, simply subscribe in my bio. The love that finally sees all of you there is a specific kind of loneliness that belongs to people who feel too much. Not the loneliness of being physically alone, though that visits too. The other kind The kind that lives inside crowded rooms, inside conversations that skim the surface and never go deeper. Inside relationships that admire certain parts of you while remaining entirely unaware that other parts exist. The loneliness of being seen partially, of learning slowly and through enough disappointment to make it feel like truth, that showing all of yourself to most people is a risk that rarely pays off in the way you need it to. So you learned to calibrate, to offer the version of yourself that fits most comfortably inside what people are prepared to receive. The grounded, capable, present version. The one that does not lead with the part of you that believes in the spaces between things, in the quiet magic of ordinary moments, in the invisible threads that connect events in ways that logic cannot always follow. You keep that part slightly folded, not hidden exactly, just not fully extended, not yet. Not until someone demonstrates they have the capacity to hold it without treating it as something to be explained or outgrown. Most people never demonstrate that capacity. And so you have been carrying a specific, unnamed ache. The ache of someone who knows they are more than what most encounters have been able to contain, and who has learned to make peace with that knowing without quite releasing the hope that something different might eventually arrive. Something different is arriving, and it is not arriving in the form you would have predicted, which is part of what makes it real rather than constructed. The person moving toward you did not come from the direction you were watching. They came from the peripheral, not the obvious answer to the question you had been asking, but something adjacent to it, something that required you to turn your head slightly and adjust your focus before it came clearly into view. They have been watching you. Not in the way that feels like surveillance, but in the way that feels like some not can't quite look away because they have encountered something they do not have a category for, and they need more time to understand it. They have been taking time, not retreating, not reconsidering in a way that suggests doubt, but processing. Sitting with the full weight of what they feel for you and letting it settle into something they can trust rather than rushing forward before they have the clarity to move with confidence. What they are arriving at in that quiet, contemplative space is certainty. The way they see you is something I want to try to describe accurately because I think you may not have a clear picture of it yet. They see your physical beauty, genuinely, completely, with the particular quality of attention that comes from someone who finds another person almost uncomfortably attractive. That is real and present and not a minor part of the picture. But it is also not the primary part. what arrests them, what they keep returning to in their private thoughts, is something that operates at a completely different level. It is the way you move through the world, the way you carry yourself, not with performance or deliberate impression making, but with a quality of genuine inhabiting, as though you are actually present in your own life rather than managing it from a slight remove. The way you love, openly, generously, with the kind of care that creates real warmth in the people around you rather than simply meeting an obligation. The way your eyes are open to things that most people have made a collective agreement to stop noticing. They look at you and see magic, not as a metaphor, as an actual assessment of what they are encountering. And this is where something significant happens in them. Because this person is not someone who has historically had access to that word. Magic. They lived in the practical. In the day-to-day, the manageable, the logical sequence of one thing following another without much examination of why. Not because they were incapable of depth, but because nothing had given them sufficient reason to go looking for it. Their life had been a series of reasonable decisions made by a reasonable person, and that reasonable life had a ceiling they had not consciously identified, but which was there, invisible and present. You walked in and they felt the ceiling. Not as a criticism of their life, as a sudden, almost physical awareness that there was more space available than they had been using. That the world was larger than the dimensions they had been operating within. That something they had quietly, privately, always suspected might exist. Magic, meaning the sense that ordinary moments are threaded through with something luminous if you know how to look, was not wishful. It was standing in front of them, looking like you. You gave them permission they did not know they were waiting for. That is the deep realization in all of this, and it quietly reshapes everything. You did not try to change them. You did not present yourself as a teacher or a guide or someone whose spiritual awareness needed to be transmitted. You simply existed at a level that made their previous parameters feel insufficient, and in that insufficiency, they found an invitation they chose to accept. They are beginning to believe in things they always felt but never validated. And the validation did not come from argument or persuasion. It came from witnessing someone. You live from that place of knowing and watching in what that looks like from the outside. It looks like freedom, and they want to live there too. Now, I want to say something directly to you because this part is important and I do not want it to get lost. You've been lonely in a way that is specific to people who walk between worlds. the mystical and the practical, the deeply spiritual and the fully grounded. That particular territory is not crowded. The people who inhabit it fully, who are not performing spirituality as an aesthetic and are not so unmoored from ordinary reality that they cannot function in it, are genuinely rare. And the loneliness of being rare is real. The loneliness of knowing that most people will only be able to meet you in one of those two places, but not both. Not really. Not really. This person can meet you in both. That is not a small thing. That might be the most significant thing. What they bring with them into your life has a quality that cannot be manufactured or learned or acquired through effort. A specific kind of stability, the grounding, protective, present kind that does not hover or suffocate, but simply exists as a reliable backdrop against which you can finally actually rest. Provider energy in the truest sense, not financial, though that may also be present, but the deeper provision of safety, of being with someone whose steadiness is so genuine that your nervous system recognizes it immediately as something it has been looking for. In the presence of that steadiness, you will be to see yourself more clearly. Not because they hold up a critical mirror, but because genuine safety creates the conditions for honest self-examination. When you do not need to spend energy bracing or managing or carefully navigating what you reveal, that freed energy goes somewhere. It goes inward. It illuminates habits you have been too busy to examine, choices you have been making on autopilot, patterns that have been quietly shaping your days in directions you would not have consciously chosen if you had been paying full attention. This person's presence will ask you, without asking, to decide who you actually are. And the love between you. This is the part that makes me stop for a moment, because it is genuinely moving. You have not been loved the way you deserve. That is not a dramatic statement. It is a quiet and accurate one. The love you have received in your life from relationships, from family dynamics, from your own internal relationship with yourself, has not fully matched what you are. It has loved the parts of you that were easiest to love. The accessible parts, the parts that fit within conventional understanding. But the rest of you, the depth, the mysticism, the particular quality of your feeling and seeing and knowing, that has mostly gone unmet. Appreciated in glimpses, perhaps. Truly received almost never. And here's the thing that is going to break you open in the most beautiful way. When someone finally loves all of you, when the full picture of who you are is not just tolerated, but genuinely celebrated, not just witnessed, but truly received, you will realize for the first time how much you had been compressing yourself to fit inside the love that was available. And that realization will bring something unexpected, not just gratitude, grief. A quiet, necessary grief for all the years of being only partially known, followed by something that feels like the deepest exhale you have ever taken. The love this connection holds is not one directional. It does not flow from one person to another and stop there. It's like there. It circulates. Everything you give to yourself strengthens what you give to them. Everything they give to themselves strengthens what returns to you. Every act of genuine self-love in this connection becomes an act of love toward the other person simultaneously. This is the kind of love that grows instead of depletes, that leaves both people fuller after genuine contact rather than emptier. That does not require either person to diminish in order for the other to feel seen. You have not experienced this before. Not because you were not capable of it. You have always been capable. But because it requires two people at the same level of willingness, and that particular alignment is not common. It is rare. In the way that all genuinely good things are rare. Not impossible, but requiring the right conditions, the right timing, and two people who have each done enough of their own work to be ready to receive something that does not ask them to be less than they are. Both of you carry fear. That is honest and important to acknowledge. Previous experiences have left marks. Things that will surface in the context of this connection, not to derail it, but to be seen, acknowledged, and released in the presence of something safe enough to finally hold them. The fear is real. It does not disappear, but what this connection carries alongside it. The trust, the bravery, the love that is so raw and so genuine it makes even an outside observer emotional, is larger, louder, more insistent. The bravery is winning. What is coming toward you is a kind of love that will make you realize, slowly, and then all at once, that you have always deserved this. Not because you earned it or finally became enough, but because you were always this. The person who sees magic in small moments, who loves with their whole being, who walks between worlds with grace and carries the loneliness of that walk without letting it make them small. That person has always deserved to be fully seen, and they are finally about to be. Let it in. Not carefully, not partially, not with one hand extended and one braced for the disappointment you have been trained to expect, all the way in. Because this is what you were waiting for, even in the years when you told yourself you had stopped waiting. It found you anyway. It always does for the ones who are brave enough to stay open.